how can you help? It really is simple as just making a donation. Because just making a donation, 100% of what you give will go directly to that community. There is no doubt about that in my mind, or I would not be a participant in this project, because I've seen what corruption can do. There are a lot of obstacles to either obtaining resources or getting the things that you need or getting people to cooperate. And oftentimes that's because you have to give bribes. If you're not willing to give what they want, then you can't get the resources that you need. And that corruption runs deep, and it's not an insult to people in Africa because the supplies or the resources are limited, and oftentimes they just do what they have to. But it does make it very challenging to deliver medicine. I'll give you a good example. I worked at a place in Cameroon where I delivered thousands of dollars worth of medicine when I went out there, and subsequently discovered that some of those materials or some of those medicines were actually sort of set aside and they were not used for the purpose that they were meant to be used for. And that people other than the communities that they were intended for benefited from that. And that can be at the government level, that can be at the federal government level, that can be at the state, city, local level. We've been able to really navigate this entire process and stay clear of the corruption that you commonly find, having to pay motivation, sometimes it's called. And we've been able to keep ourselves distant enough from the government that we can gain benefit from them, but not have them controlling or potentially corrupting what we're doing. We've been able to be an integral part of the church, and really it's sort of cross-cultural, cross-denominational, everybody's welcome, and staying distant enough from them to avoid any corruption that could occur or that could intrude upon our efforts in the Virginia Ray Clinic. So it's a very unique situation, and if you talk to anybody that's done work in Africa, that's not an easy thing to do. And I credit the people in Kapkemich. I credit the people who are at the board of directors or the steering committee there. I credit Simon Tarus, who has been integral in making this thing happen. So it's the people there that have really been able to prevent that. All we've been able to do is find out what their needs were, give them the resources available, and have them use it. And they've used it so wisely. I cannot imagine anybody using the little that we've given them to the degree that they have to create what they have. And it's just extraordinary. This is a rural agricultural community that are hardworking, that they're willing to do everything it takes to make this happen, to make their daily life happen, to support what we're doing, to raise their families and achieve those goals that I previously mentioned. And once you tap into that, you realize that every donation that you make is worth it.